Parliamentary updates.
The Trinidad and Tobago Branch of the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association commemorated International Women's Day 2025 by hosting a mentorship program for young women. The objectives of the program were to empower, to inspire, to educate, and to engage. President of the Senate, the Honorable Nigel De Freitas, welcomed the young women to the program. He assured them that the aim of most men is to support.
This program marks a vital step forward in empowering the next generation of female leaders. Leaders who will continue to challenge barriers, redefine societal norms, and guide us with vision, strength, and determination. As we gather today to mark this global observance, we reflect on the immense strength, resilience, and invaluable contributions of women and girls worldwide.
Referring to the 2025 themes, he said they serve as a powerful call to action.
Together, these themes highlight our collective responsibility to ensure that every woman and girl, regardless of background or circumstance, is empowered to realize her full potential, exercise her rights, and shape her future. This dual focus underscores the urgency of achieving gender equality by pushing for the necessary reforms and actions that will allow women to thrive in all areas of society. Gender equality is not a distant or abstract goal. It is an urgent, actionable objective that requires our unwavering commitment and determination today and every day.
He underscored that society benefits if men and women have access to the same opportunities.
True progress, however, can only be achieved when we build a society that is inclusive, equitable, and where both women and men are afforded the opportunity to contribute to and participate fully in the advancement of our collective future. It is imperative to be clear. Our objective is not to diminish the contributions of men. Rather, we recognize that empowering women, especially young women, is central to the advancement of our society as a whole. The strength of our society lies in collaboration and mutual respect. When both women and men are empowered to reach their fullest potential, we will all benefit from a more just, prosperous, and harmonious world.
The day's workshop saw 4 parliamentarians addressing attendees, with the women being given an opportunity to ask questions. Senator Hazel Thompson-Aye began the mentorship sessions.
So that even though you hear that leaders are born and not made, there are certain things that can be developed. Otherwise, if you're born and you're not born a leader, what's the point, you know? What's the point of us having this program? Self-development is very important. Continuous learning is very important. There are some gifts that God gave to you, and there are gifts that can be developed, can be nurtured.
Then came the interactive segment where attendees asked for guidance.
Well, I definitely wanted to ask you, how did you navigate the balance between the societal pressures and expectations and also being present for your children and being seen as a good mother?
I don't know if I was seen as a good mother, you know.
We all have self-doubt.
My daughter said to me once, his daddy brought me up. You know, I had a very, 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 very supportive husband, I must say. He continues to be very supportive. I try, but sometimes you have to keep feeling, you know, you need something to validate you. And children are hard on parents, right? And I have had some things, you know, you always used to be traveling, you used to be do this, you used to do that, and you don't even remember when you take them on the trips. So children can be very hard, and sometimes I say, you know, maybe I should have done things differently. maybe I should have done this, maybe I should have done that. You know what I get to know? When are you going to retire? You know? So I think don't be hard on yourself. Try the best you can.
Next to address the ladies was member Khadija Amin.
Research shows that women who have mentors are more likely to advance in their careers because we feel empowered and we become more successful leaders. Leaders are not only on television. Leaders are in every sphere of life, business, church, in administration, in your homes. But when institutions like Parliament invest in mentorship, we create a pipeline for women leaders, for advocates, for change makers, who will continue to fight for gender equality for generations to come.
She then gave advice.
The question I have is looking at all of the portfolios that you are in, or the fields that you're involved in, mother, politician, etc. How do you manage your time, or how do you prevent yourself from being burnt out? Because it's a lot to be doing, the long hours, the late nights. How do you really keep yourself going and keep yourself moving forward with all of these things that have to be accomplished? So that's my question for you.
I think you have to be really passionate about what you're doing, I mentioned, there's a Jamaican song, do it for the love, not for the likes, right? You have to really be doing it for the love and not for the likes. Politics alone, there are days when you feel it's not worth it. Mm-hmm. I remember when my son was very young, I have this beautiful child, I'm qualified. I could go into private life and have a profession privately and not have to deal with these people who are attacking you for no good reason and so on. But I was in it for the love of helping people. And I tell people, where politics is concerned, you have to know what is your passion. Are you passionate about animals, the environment, social work, legal work? What are you passionate about? What are you an advocate for? Politics is not something to aspire to, it's a vehicle. So if listen, this is just a means to an end. My objective is still there, you will not be deterred, even when you face the biggest challenges. But balance and scheduling is very important.
Senator Renuka Sagram Singh Sukalal assured the women that it's okay if they don't have it all figured out.
It is great and it is quite fine if at this age you're uncertain where you want to go or what the end of your life ought to look like. It is quite okay to change your course as you take flight. It is quite okay to fail. It is quite okay to not be resolute, and this is where, and I said it already, and I have to belabor that point, in having a clear chart or plan for your life, because life indeed is dynamic. It is not static, and things that you may not anticipate may come your way, and you will have at that point to navigate through these trials, tribulations, successes, failures all together and get to where you want to be.
The Speaker of the House was the last person to address the attendees. She spoke about why the need for women in politics.
We could say it's enhancing democracy. Effective democracy must be inclusive and representative. And therefore, to deny at least half of the world's population in participating in decision-making really would result in ineffective democracy, or some may say no democracy at all. And I find a lot of learning in the quote of Michelle Mouchette of the UNDP, Latin American Caribbean Office, where she says there is no democracy without gender equality.
And responding to a commendation from one of the women on how she handled an issue in her political past, Madam Speaker had a caution.
We didn't have social media to deal with. And are we trending and thing,
Gone viral.
how many followers, and which is all your world. Just remember, you don't know where you're going to end up. That cloud will burst one day, right? And the impact that it would have on your potential, your possibilities, could be irretrievably damaging.
30 women attended the mentorship program that offered meaningful interaction with influential women in politics and advocacy. Stay tuned for further parliamentary updates. For more information, follow us on our socials, Facebook, YouTube, X, and Instagram, and visit our website at www.ttparliament.org.
Parliamentary updates.